Especially after 30, with work, bills, starting a family maybe, and all the responsibilities and stress piling up, you've got to ask yourself if adding this one more thing on your plate makes sense. This is why in today's video, not only am I going to argue that getting jacked is a worthy pursuit, but as a dad of two baby twin girls and being in my 40s with a full-time job and all the chaos that comes with adult life, I'm also going to argue that this is actually the best way to truly thrive during this phase of your life. Not to mention how it will also save you from ending up a wreck in the next one. There's a scene in The Pursuit of Happiness where Chris Gardner is sprinting through the city, dragging a heavy, busted machine that keeps slowing him down. This is how most men start to feel as they grow older, only the machine they're dragging becomes their own body. As your days fill up, training gets squeezed out, you move less, stress more, and eat worse. At the same time, your body starts losing close to 1% of muscle every year over 30, which only speeds up with time. Fast forward 20 years, and what you're really turning into is a bag of skin filled with bones and fat. Probably already taking meds in your 50s just to get through the week. This is why I always like to say that the lack of cardio is not the main problem, you should be worried, and what your body really ends up lacking is what actually holds it together and moves it around, which is muscle. Still, most men realize this until it's too late, since it happens deceptively slowly in the beginning and while you're distracted with everything else. At first though, it starts something like this. Your body starts looking and feeling softer than it used to be. Then one day, your dad gut sneaks up on you. You look okayish with the right shirt on, so you ignore it until your wife starts poking your beer belly in a teasing way. Eventually, you start noticing your sex drive dipping, you start waking up feeling less confident, less driven, more tired and more stiff in all the wrong places, until one day you look in the mirror and you say something to yourself like, "Man, I used to look good, feel good, what the hell happened to me?" So why does this happen, and why do most men ignore it until it's too damn late?
Hey, quick announcement. I just released my new beginner's guide, Bodyweight First. This is the foundational program I recommend to anyone getting started or getting back to his pursuit to jackness. And all you need to get it absolutely free is simply join my newsletter, link in the top and comment below.
In his book, The Pursuit of Legendary Fatherhood, great book by the way, Larry Hagner has a name for this. He calls it the drift, explaining how most men, the moment we settle down, we start serving everyone else other than ourselves. So we start sacrificing our own physical, mental, and emotional health, which ironically, other than our health, career, and personal growth, also negatively impacts the people we tried to do this for in the very beginning. The reason I know this so well is because somewhere around my mid-30s, this also happened to me. And although I still worked out casually, I definitely didn't look the way I did at the beginning of my journey when I lost my leg and decided to get in the best shape of my life. Sure, I had the same cop-out excuse most guys have of not having time and being too busy, but the reality was I simply got lazy and prioritized the wrong things. I stopped training hard, I stopped paying attention to my diet, I lost weight and muscle, I wasn't managing stress well, I wasn't sleeping that much, and I struggled to find the joy in the simple things of life. Until one day, I decided to get back to it. 2 years later, I'm almost 41, and I've gotten the strongest I've ever been while also adding 10 kilos of muscle on my frame. All done naturally, no TRT or whatever is the latest shortcut, just putting in consistent smart work and getting my shit together with diet and recovery. Now, although not training when you're young doesn't seem to make that much of a difference, once you turn 40, it suddenly becomes super obvious. This is when everyone around you, the same age who has neglected his fitness, starts to go downhill fast, and in the end, what most guys don't realize until it's again too damn late is that getting in shape might be hard, but living out of shape always ends up being harder. That being said, why be extreme though and go through all the trouble of getting jacked instead of just getting in decent shape? This is a question that I've been thinking a lot about the last years, and one I've definitely changed my mind over. In a nutshell, the reason most of us get bored of simply getting and staying in basic shape is because it just ends up being boring as fuck. Here are 2 ways though that getting jacked actually solves this. Socrates said that it is a shame for a man to grow old without ever seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. And although looks are not the only benefit, they're definitely a huge confidence booster. When you're just in decent shape, as I was 2.5 years ago, after I started taking it easier with my training, it doesn't really show that much. Especially if you're wearing a t-shirt, most people can't even say if you exercise or if you're just skinny. But when you're strong in a visible, obvious way, almost no matter what you wear, it changes everything. You feel differently, you carry yourself differently, and people not only notice, but also respond differently. It's like a quiet superpower that spills into every interaction, whether that's with your kids, at work, and definitely when you're in the bedroom with your wife. Number 2 is that getting jacked is a serious enough mission. Especially when it comes to physical challenges, most of us get fired up when the goal is big enough to test us. We're drawn to discomfort because that is how we are programmed to evolve. I truly believe that every guy ends up happier when he goes after hard physical goals, just as every guy ends up more miserable when he gets trapped in comfort. It is why extreme fitness challenges like ultramarathons have become more popular than ever, and why we look at men like David Goggins like gods. That being said, why choose getting jacked as your fitness mission? For starters, compared to all the fitness extremes out there that usually deplete and break your body down, getting jacked builds your body up. Not just in a physical way, but also from the inside out. There's simply something different about that post-workout physical and mental pump that strength training leaves you with. The physical pump gives you a preview into how your body will look in the near future if you keep it up, while the mental pump leaves you with a mixed flavor of confidence and resilience that no other form of exercise has. Every single time I finish a decent strength workout, I basically feel unbreakable. Even when everything seems to be going south in life, and I promise you, if you're a bit younger than me, it will often feel that way, having this one thing you can control, this one place where you can still make progress at, is what will help you survive. As superficial as it might sound, compared to the bigger problems in life, training becomes your anchor. Each session offers you a moment to pause, recalibrate, and feel capable again. It gives you a little win and confidence boost that keeps you on your feet so you can rebuild your momentum and keep moving forward instead of falling apart. Slowly, you start to see a light in the tunnel. Your morning workout becomes the domino that tips over and changes your whole day. So instead of waking up and feeling like stress is about to crush you, you can now kick stress in the balls by using it as fuel for your training. Instead of feeling tired all day and doom scrolling your stress away when you can't sleep at night, you start sleeping more when it's bedtime and waking up with purpose when it's go time. Instead of feeling like you have to pinch your thigh to stay awake at work, you now have a mind that is more creative, sharp, and firing at all cylinders. Instead of crashing on the couch and feeling like a wreck after work, you now have the energy to goof around with your kids. Not to mention how the moment you take your shirt off, instead of poking your belly, your wife now wants to do other things with you. Getting jacked literally rewires your brain and your whole identity. From feeling like a background character, you become the protagonist in your life's movie again. And that is also when you start to really fall in love with fitness. Not because waking up early is fun, not because pull-ups or pressing heavy weight over your head feels amazing every single time, but because of what doing this consistently carves out of you. The discipline, the resilience, and the feeling that you're showing up as your best version every single day, even when life sucks. Now, although getting jacked isn't easy, and that is the point of it to a big extent, there are a few traps men, especially over 30, fall into over and over that makes this journey way harder than it has to be, and why most of you fail. It's like putting your foot on the gas pedal, excited to get started on this pursuit, but at the same time having all kinds of handbrakes on. And because these handbrakes keep you stuck and not going anywhere, eventually your motivation dies. Still, if you want to get jacked the coming year, making sure that you don't have any of these handbrakes on, then don't miss the next episode, which will already appear in the top right corner. If you're watching this in the near future, subscribe, turn the notification bell on. Don't forget to download my free Bodyweight Beginner's Guide. Or if you want to speed things up even more, you can also learn about our one-on-one coaching by filling in our questionnaire. Links for both of these below. And until next time, keep on training.